What effect does phone addiction have on one's relationship with God? And how would one go about decreasing their phone usage?
So I guess that's a variant of the Tower of Babel story, eh? So in the Tower of Babel is built by engineers. They're the descendants of the city builders and the creators of artifacts. They're people who are obsessed with technology, with things, with machinery. And it's not that that's a bad thing, but it has to be put in the proper place. It can't be the goal. It has to be the servant of the proper goal. And the Tower of Babel is the tyrannical society that emerges when technology is worshipped as God. And the consequence of that inversion of the proper moral order is that everyone loses the ability to genuinely communicate. Right? That's the proliferation of languages and the descent into linguistic chaos. So that's the abstract level of answer. The practical level of answer. A phone should be your servant and not your master. Now that's a very tricky victory to attain because you have more computing power in your phone than any human being on the planet. No, every human being on the planet had 10 years ago. And so that's quite the adversary. It's a very difficult thing to stay on top of. We better stay on top of it because if we don't, it's going to be on top of us. And that's the Tower of Babel. That's the all-seeing eye of Sauron, right, from the Lord of the Rings. That's the technological God whose omniscient vision will replace the truly divine if people are sufficiently irresponsible. Is that a battle you'll have to fight with your own phone and in your own family? Yes. What did you tell me at lunch today? I was on my phone. What did you tell me? I'd phoned my sis. No, I phoned.
Oh, I know what it was. You asked me if you could call Charles, and Charles had a flood in the house, so he had to call Charles.
A friend of ours.
Yeah.
And that was allowable.
And I said, yeah.
Charles had a crisis.
Call him.
Then I snuck in an additional phone call, which was an important phone call, but not a vitally important phone call. And it was...
I think you can be with your phone or you can be with me. I have other things I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She said it, I would say, kindly by her standards, but also honestly. And it was a very good response because she noted that I was pushing my luck, which I was, and there's likely some egotism in that. And also that didn't make her happy, and that's not helpful. It's not that her unhappiness is the problem. It's that if her unhappiness is valid, then it's a problem. Because I don't want to use my phone in a way that will interfere with her wanting to go have lunch with me. Because I'm going to have a lot of lunches with her, hopefully, and I'd rather they went well. And so, one of the things you do in your family is you speak when you've got something to say. It's like, you're pissing me off with that phone. And then you might say, well, that's because you're a little too sensitive. And who knows, right? Maybe you're not so good with your phone, and maybe she's a bit too sensitive, and you can hash that out and hopefully come to some conclusion. My conclusion was, I kind of knew I was pushing my luck with that second phone call. But I also appreciated it because we need to be tapped into shape constantly by the people around us. None of us are sane enough to be sane by ourselves. You can just forget about that. That's never going to happen. You're sane if people can stand you because they keep reminding you of how useless you are, and then that sort of makes you sane. So that's the definition of sanity, really. And you got to conduct yourself in a way that makes you acceptable to other people, so they remind you politely how to not be insane and in hell. And so you battle that out with your phone, and I guess you refer to your own guilt and your sense that you're wasting time and the clock is ticking, and then you watch and see if everyone you're sitting down to, at Christmas dinner is on their phone and not interacting with each other, because that's obviously not so good unless you don't like them, in which case, what the hell are you doing there?
Or maybe you should fix it.
Yeah, and then you should fix that, definitely. So, I don't have any particular wisdom other than that on the phone front, because everyone's wrestling with this insanely powerful and attractive technology, and it's just going to get worse and better, and fast. Whatever you're worried about in relationship to these phones, something way more terrifying is going to be coming down the pipelines in the next few years. You ain't seen nothing yet. So get ready, because it's going to be quite the ride.